Kia ora koutou, ko dia ho. We are here for Get Active 2021, which is a program that we have for Waipā District Libraries. And joining me today is Prab Singh, who is the club manager for Jets Fitness in Te Awamutu. Kia ora, Prab.
How are you, Dee?
Very well, thank you. Now, I thought today we would start by, you're no stranger to talking to us at council, and I thought we could start with what you talked to us about at council, which was your weight loss journey.
Yes. So, myself has been a very overweight kid and teen. So I was pretty at an unhealthy weight growing up. And my fitness journey started when my mental health was a bit compromised. That was when it all started. And at that time, all I did was literally started starving myself, and 3 hours in the gym in the morning, 3 hours in the evening. And I did quickly lose weight, a lot of weight, by starving myself. But again, an year down the line, it all came back. Because I did it in a really, really unhealthy way. I had literally stopped eating. And it again came back, and it came back worse, even way more worse.
Yeah.
And I've tried each and every diet under the sun there is. Each, and you call it intermittent fasting, keto, low carb, just eating fruits and vegetables. I've tried it all. And I wouldn't say it worked. They do work, but none of them is sustainable.
No. And I think that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah. It takes away all the fun from your life. Your social life, your relationships suffer, and it's not sustainable long term. And the moment you go off it, everything comes back, and even worse.
Okay, so what do you suggest for those who are looking to lose weight, looking to have a bit more fitness?
Look, the science of losing weight is pretty simple. Now, I'm saying it's simple, but it's not easy. The simple principle is it's just all about energy balance. The energy you consume and the energy you burn. That's all that matters. So if you are looking to get at a healthier weight, you need to be eating less than what you burn throughout the day. And that's the only way you are going to lose weight.
Yeah.
In the long term. Now, how do we do that? It's caloric deficit. It's easy for me to say, start following a caloric deficit, but I know how hard it can get. So the first step is sit down with a pen and paper and write down all the foods that you enjoy eating from day to day, but which are also healthy. Once you have it written in front of you, it's easy for you to meal plan.
Okay.
So what I would suggest is, after our interview today, I'll send you a link to a calorie calculator. So there are online calorie calculators which ask for our metrics like our gender, our age, our current body weight, our activity levels. And based on that, they roughly give us a caloric budget to stick to if you want to lose fat.
Yeah.
As you stick to that caloric budget over a period of time, it's not going to happen in a month, 2 months, 3 months. It's going to have to be consistent. You're looking at good 5, 6, 7 months.
Yeah, it has to be a long-term plan. It has to be part of your everyday living, doesn't it? It has to be sustainable.
Yeah, and it has to be. Now, it's actually the good thing is, if you do follow an energy balance, if you do stick to a caloric budget, you can actually include foods that you enjoy eating in your budget. It's not that you just have to eat healthy. As long as you stick to your deficit, you can still include foods that you enjoy from day to day. I'll just give you an example. Let's say if I were to lose weight, I would need to stick to a 1800 calorie deficit, that I can only consume 800 calories from day to day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count 3 meals in a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I'm going to measure them how many calories. Let's say 500 calorie each. 3 meals of 500 calorie each. That leaves me with another 300 calories. Now, in those 300 calories, you are
two times?
whatever it may be. Ice cream, chocolate, piece of cake, whatever you enjoy eating. So that way you're not overly restricting yourself.
Yeah.
And you're just not taking the fun out of your life. The thing is, when I started starving myself, there was literally no excitement in my life. I wasn't excited to go out to see movies. Why? Because I wasn't going to eat anything. And the fun part is to go to movies and have some popcorn.
Yeah.
So fun gone. I couldn't socialize. I went out with friends but didn't eat. So it took away all the fun. Relationships suffered. So if you do want to sustainably lose fat, anyone who wants to do it, they first need to figure out their calorie requirements and start eating in a deficit. How do we eat in a deficit? First step is to go to warehouse, buy a kitchen scale. You need to start weighing everything you eat.
Yeah.
Like if you eat rice, just weigh them before you start boiling them. That how much rice, because a 50-gram rice and 100-gram rice, our eyes visually can't figure out a difference.
Yes.
And you need to start educating yourself on the nutrition labels which come behind every food you buy from the supermarket. Or even if you go to Burger Fuel or McDonald's or Burger King, Subway, if you go to their website, all of them have nutrition information. How many calories each of their burger contains or a sandwich contains. So we need to start educating ourselves around how much energy we are consuming in terms of calories.
Yes.
Now with this counting calories thing, I know it sounds super inconvenient. But first of all, that's the only way that's going to work sustainably. Secondly, the good news is you don't have to do it all your life. It's just initially you need to educate yourself. And once you have enough information, knowledge about how much calories roughly a certain amount of food has, you won't have to do it forever. You will be able to estimate it without having to weigh it. Now I don't have to weigh my food. I know it already.
Not by sight. Yeah.
From doing it. So you don't have to do it all your life. So that is the way to approach fat loss. Other thing is, now as I said, to have a caloric budget and stick to that. Now when it comes to dieting, there are two things. You can either make it very smooth or you can make it hell for you. Now that depends on your food choices. Certain category of foods, let's say whole foods or protein, which comes from meat, or if you're a non-vegetarian, comes from meat, chicken or eggs, or let's say for vegetables, there's tofu, there's beans. Now these foods are really satiating. They keep us fuller for longer. So if we make sure we include these foods in our every meal, our dieting would be really smooth. We won't be starving all day long.
Yeah.
And if we try to diet down with foods, ultra processed foods, sugary foods, way too sugary foods, maybe say cereals and all that stuff, these foods are not very satiating. You eat them and you start feeling hungry, right? Maybe an hour after that. So that way you're going to be starving all day long and it's going to be so hard for you to stick to your deficit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you really need to do is make really smart choices around food. Make sure there's protein, a source of protein in every meal. If you have 3 meals in a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, make sure there's a protein source in every meal, whatever source suits you best. If you are a non-vegetarian, choose lean meat sources, chicken, lean beef, or whatever you like eating, eggs, fish. If you're a vegetarian, you can go for lentils, beans, tofu. So make sure there's a good source of protein in every meal. Why? Because it's not just about muscles, it keeps you fuller for longer, so that you're not starving after a meal. Make sure in every meal you have a good serving of vegetables. Again, why? Because vegetables have a lot of fiber in them, keep you fuller for longer. If you make smart food choices, it will be so easy for you to stick to your deficit.
Yeah.
And remember, if you have to stick to your caloric budget, all you have to do is make sure you're taking your health nutrition goals. And after you have ticked your goals and you're still left with a few calories, you enjoy whatever you enjoy to eat. It could be an ice cream bar, could be an ice cream bar, could be anything. And another thing is, another cue when you're dieting is choose foods that are easy to measure. Let's say for me, if I eat oats, I just buy the 50-gram packets, individual packets. Like if you go to Countdown, there'll be Uncle Toby's, a 6 or 12 packet box, and not just 1.5 kg loose.
Yes.
That I don't even have to measure it. I know how much energy it has in it.
Yeah.
So we just need to start making smart choices around food and start educating ourselves and make sure we are including whole foods in our diet so that our dieting doesn't turn into hell.
Yeah. Okay, let's turn to exercise.
Yes.
Because I guess the flip side is you can probably eat more if you exercise more, because again helping our calorie deficit by exercise.
100%. When you exercise, any sort of exercise is going to burn energy. So it's only going to increase your burning. I mean, it's only going to help you get into a deficit, because more you exercise, more energy you burn, and more food you can get away with.
And what advice would you give someone who's really just starting out on an exercise journey?
I would really suggest, first of all, to set small goals.
Yeah.
Don't overwhelm yourself. Set small goals. Let's say a goal could be, I'm going to make time for exercise 4 days a week for at least 30 to 45 minutes. Now, second thing is to really get guidance around, if you are joining a gym, around weight training. It's very, very, very important. A common misconception is that if you want to lose weight, you just need to do cardio running. No, that's not about it.
Mm.
The way I put it is, the way I approach fat loss is, start focusing on gaining something, gaining strength and gaining muscle. And that's going to happen when you train with weights. And your fat loss will follow.
Yes.
So the advice I would give someone who is just starting up is, start educating yourself around weight training. Just start with body weight exercises at first. Squats or press-ups just from the floor, hand release press-ups. Or even when you're in the gym, maybe invest in a personal trainer. Or I have my own page on Facebook. In that page, you'll see videos of me doing exercises, weight training exercises, all instructional. I will also send you a link of that page, which you can forward to everyone. So jump on that page, you'll see videos of me doing exercises, all instructional. That would really help you heaps if you can't invest in a personal trainer.
And of course, people can also come along to Jets Fitness and talk to you in person as well.
100%, more than happy to assist if someone wants a direction and how to approach fat loss or exercise. Please feel free to come.
Yeah.
So a common misconception I need to clear is that even if your goal is to lose weight, you need to start weight training. Start focusing on gaining strength and gaining muscle. Your fat loss goals will follow.
Yeah. Any advice on a mix of activities?
I would say we live in a rural environment. As if you want to do cardio, go up the mountains, go out in nature. Start your day with a good walk, 30 to 35-minute walk. It's just like, it's more about having a schedule. For me, I don't need to lose weight, but I still have that routine. I wake up every day, I go for a walk.
Yes.
Have to. I put on my music, I grab my drink, I go for a long walk.
Yeah.
This is for someone who's really overwhelmed at this stage and has a lot of anxiety in being in a gym surrounded with people. If you are anxious about being in a gym and being around people, start by waking up, go for a walk.
Yeah. It's all about making good habits, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I have my own around my running, and I used to just run until I started doing some small group classes which focused on strength. And, it's taken away a day from running, but it's actually made me a better runner because I'm actually now stronger. So that mix of activity, really important. And for me, habit is really important. And I think if all of us have busy lives, and I think the more that you can say, this is when I do this, and nothing gets in the way, then you can stick to that.
Exactly. And saying that to the mix of activities, there's a great advantage to that it doesn't make things boring. Like there's variety in your exercise routine. And you're not just doing one activity because you're going to get bored over time.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's good to have a mixture of cardio and weight training exercises.
Yeah, and I tend to find as well, yes, I like running alone, but sometimes it's easy to do the hard yards with a group, or say something like strength training either by yourself or again in a group as well, just to keep you motivated and keep you going. Yeah,
exactly, 100%. Training with partners, it's really good for motivation, and it's also about, it's a challenge. It's like if you have a challenge in a group or if you're a buddy, it motivates you more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about, we talked about the weight loss and everything. It's a gradual process. What, if you're just starting out, you wouldn't expect to see results straight away, but what would be like a weight loss goal to maybe aim for over a couple of weeks. So we're not looking for quick solutions here. Maybe if it's just a couple of 100 grams every couple of weeks, what would be something that you might aim for?
I would say, Dee, actually, if you are recently starting on a fitness journey, just in the beginning, you will see results. In the beginning, you'll see quick results because your body you've just started doing everything from nothing. But it's going to be after that the results are going to slow down.
Yes.
And what I would suggest as a sustainable approach should be losing around 500 grams per week. So if you stick to a 500 caloric deficit for 7 days in a week, you will lose around 500. If you do the maths, you'll lose around 500 grams every week. And that's a very reasonable amount and a realistic amount to stick to.
Yes.
Don't have high expectations. Starting out, you might even lose a kg in a week because at the starting, it'll be a bit quicker. After that, it'll slow down. So I would say keep a realistic expectation of losing 0.5 kg in a week. That is a realistic expectation. Do not try to exceed it. Do not try to, it's not a sprint.
Yeah.
Because if you try running a sprint, it's all going to come back.
Yeah.
And do not try to go on any diet. You will see results. I'm telling you, keto gives results. But the way it gives results is it just gets rid of water from your body, water stored in your body. It's not necessarily fat. And how long can you stay keto? That's the thing. The moment you start going back on your carbs, everything's going to come back. You just suffered for so long. For what? For all of it to come back. So why to start something that isn't going to end well?
Yeah. And I guess something else we have to take into account is the fitter we get, the more muscle density that we have, muscle weighs more than fat. So sometimes the scales may go the other way, but for a good reason. We're probably losing centimetres.
Yeah, exactly.
We might not be showing it on the scales as such.
Yeah, so the composition of muscle is very dense, whereas fat has volume in it. So fat has more volume, whereas muscle is more dense. So that's why what you mentioned that, you could still be losing fat and not be able to see it on scales. So yeah. Yeah.
So I guess the advice is there, don't be discouraged if you're doing all this exercising, you're feeling great, but it's not showing on the scales because you probably, your muscle definition is probably increasing. And I think it also helps your bone density as well. Am I right, Prab?
100% bone density, joint strength, joint cartilage, ligaments, it strengthens everything. Or even bone health, bone strength. So weight training, it's not just about building muscle. It's a whole lot of other advantages to it. And another thing, what I just wanted to say to that was, with the scales, what was I going to say? Yeah. So a good way to approach a weight loss program is, I would rather focus on performance rather than just shift your goals from losing weight to increasing performance.
Yes. I mean, I guess, jog here to around the corner. First time it might take you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Next time might take you 4 minutes 50.
Because when we start walking, we start thinking about performing. It's more encouraging, and it's something to look forward to. Like it's gaining something rather than focusing on losing something.
Yeah.
Let's focus on getting stronger, having more cardiovascular stamina. That way, it just shifts your focus from losing fat and getting on the scale all the time.
Yeah.
And you are more focused on performance.
Yeah.
Like, let's say if you could only row for 5 minutes on your first day and you were really puffing hard, next day come in and do row for like 6 minutes. It's like to have a performance-based goal rather than a fat loss goal.
Yeah.
Fat loss is going to follow. The more your performance increases, your body composition is going to improve. So I would say just shift your focus from losing fat to increasing performance. That's it.
Yeah, fantastic advice. So look, as part of our Libraries Get Active program, we're going to have some suggested activities. At the moment, given our alert levels, we've got some that we're going to get you to go online and have a look at. Some of those activities are just for 10 minutes. Some are low impact exercises for 30 minutes. We've also got walks within our libraries, and we've got quite a number of providers. Jets Fitness is one of them, who are providing some additional offers or free classes that you can go to start on your fitness journey. Our program will be going until December, so we invite you to have a look on our website as to the details there. And Prab, if you can just tell us a bit of what Jets Fitness has to offer in terms of equipment, opening hours, that type of thing.
Yeah, so what I do, Dee, here is, if we do offer a free, I will happy to offer a free 7-day trial to anyone who wishes to try out the gym and see how it feels. Our memberships offer a great value for money. Our memberships start from $7.99 per week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great offer. Plus, what I do as a service for all the members is every Tuesday and Thursday, I run a small technique classes, like a small class around technique of training with weights for all the members who need assistance. It's a short 30 to 45-minute class. That's something I offer for free. You don't have to spend money and you'll get good quality advice.
Wow,
Everything
that's
you
fantastic.
know about lifting weights. That's something I offer as a service to all the members every Tuesday and Thursday at around 6 p.m. So come and see me, no cost associated with that. And our memberships are starting from $7.99 per week, plus more than happy to offer a free 7-day trial. And I also have a Facebook page, which I'll send a link to you and which you can advertise. So please jump on that page. Even if you train at home or if you train at your local gym, it will help you heaps because it's all instructional.
Fantastic. And the other thing we should point out is we're talking about people of all ages, aren't we? Probably not children, but from adults up to seniors. I mean, really, it's never too late to start on your fitness.
And even for adults, what I would suggest is to just having a mobility and stretching routine, because that would be a beginning point for seniors. And just from doing that, they'll feel so energetic and loose, because I've done it with people. And yeah, it'll really help.
Absolutely. And there are lots of people should be aware that there are lots of free community classes out there as well, even seated exercise as well. So just depends on what you're looking for. But look, we've had some great advice from Prab. Please go along to Jets Fitness in Te Awamutu to see Prab in person. I'm sure he'll be happy to speak to you. And definitely those Tuesday and Thursday classes sound fantastic as well. So Prab, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's really appreciated the advice that you've given today, and we'll look forward to seeing you again some other time.
Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you too.
Ka kite.
Have a lovely day ahead, and bye-bye to everyone.
See you.